which are the best weapons for each and every different class. As you can see, there are all these different classes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different classes, and they all have different weapons. As you can see, I haven't fully unlocked every single one, but the majority of them I have. And I didn't mention this in my last video, but I am the reason why I'm not just pumping out videos for this is because I'm trying to get everything just before I'm trying to unlock everything like just before I prestige, because that's when everything will be unlocked. Because I mean, once you prestige, everything will relock, but everything will be unlocked until you prestige. So I want to make sure that I can get these videos out before my next prestige, and then so this way I can just if there's anything that I need to show you, and I can't just show you in the menu, and I have to show you actually outside of it, and you guys can see a little bit more of in depth of whatever it is that I would be talking about. So as you can see, in the assault rifles we have all these different guns, and submachine guns, so many different snipers, not too many shotguns, but it really isn't that bad, and a couple of light machine guns. Now in the assault rifles class, for beginners, I'd recommend either this gun right here or this gun. This gun, when you have the scope on it, even though it's semi-automatic, it's actually a really, really good gun. I don't really like it very much because I'm not a semi-automatic person, but anyone that can adapt to semi-automatic guns good, or whatever the case may be, this is definitely the gun for you. Even though it's the one that unlocks by default, it's probably one of the more powerful guns in the game. It's one of the top 3 most powerful guns in the game, I'm pretty sure. And the AK though, this one's also really powerful, and that, I believe, unlocked by default. If not, then you'll probably unlock it within the first level or 2. So if you're a beginner, these are the 2 best weapons, but if you're already if you already have everything unlocked in the assault rifles, then this is probably by far the best weapon of them all, and that's why I have it. I mean, it's not very good at first, but once you unlock the scope for it, that's when everything really gets good with it. You just need to unlock this, which all you need is 25 kills to get it, the red dot sight. It's really not that hard to get, and once you do it, this gun is extremely accurate and powerful, and it only takes 2 shots to the head if you're a good shot, and I believe either 2 or 3 to the chest. I'm not 100% sure on that, but something along those lines. So alright, this gun is also a really nice gun, but it's probably not gonna win you any awards. If you're more of this kind of person, then sure, you could use it. I mean, I definitely used this gun back in the original COD 4. This was my go-to gun, but now I'm not really as good with it as I used to be. I used to mow people down with this and just be pretty good with it, and I would have the fast reload on it, but can't really do that as easily as I used to, I guess. But I usually use this one the majority of the time now, because it's just a better gun for me, but you may have different preferences. I know that a lot of people, even though it doesn't seem like something a lot of people would use, a lot of people love to use this gun, so maybe that would be good for you. But the top 2 would probably be the M4 carbine and the G36C. Those are probably the best ones, and you can even tell that it's one of the best ones because it made it back into Infinite Warfare and the classic weapons. So there you go for the assault rifles. But just keep in mind that everyone has their own preferences, and that you may do better with, I don't know, maybe this weapon right here or this weapon. But I don't really see too many people running around with these, so it's really up to you. Now for this weapon is really good, and it's one of the ones that you unlock at the very beginning, but once you actually, like, unlock other weapons, you may want to try those, but this is, in the submachine guns, by far probably the best one in this class, or in this, like, section. And I know a lot of people, like, I, you always hear people that are in, like, lobbies and stuff on mic, and they're like, oh, you're a loser for using this gun or whatever, but, like, in reality, technically, if you're the one using this gun and you're getting all the kills, that doesn't make you the loser, that makes you the winner. So if you feel like using this gun, it's one of the probably best ones in this class, the P90. And don't pay attention to what anyone says, because, I mean, they're just jealous that you are actually using this gun, and that, like, you're getting all the kills with it, because, like, this gun, when you have the either increased damage or the faster shooting speed, whatever that perk was called, like, you can go ham on people with this gun. So this is probably one of the best ones. So, like, if anyone, like, says you're a loser for using it or anything like that, that's just the way people are. They're just jealous that you are, like, really good with this gun, probably, and that they're dying all the time. That's the only reason why people say that kind of stuff. But probably the top three in this one, because, like, this one's actually pretty good too. Like, you probably are gonna want to use either the Scorpion, the MP5, or the P90. I mean, some people like to use this, but it's not very good. So you might want to stick to these three here. So yeah, I mean, the mini Uzi's alright too, I'm not gonna lie, but you see more people using the Scorpion. And also, just in general, I mean, you can see why, because it's definitely a lot better. Now, for the sniper rifles, you got the M40A3, which is the one you unlock at the very beginning, the M21, Dragunov R700, and the Barrett 50 cal. These are all really good snipers, except for the Dragunov, because, like, I mean, it's okay, but it's probably one of the worst snipers in the game. But some people disagree, though. So this one right here is the one you start off with. It's really good, but at the same time, it's been proven to be one of the worst sniper rifles in this category. Even though a lot of people think this one's been proven to be. So even though you see a lot of people using it because it's, like, easier to use and all this and that, it may not be the best one, even though it seems like it. And this one is the one that I use because it's got a pretty good one-hit kill ratio. It's got a lot of recoil, but that's not a huge problem for me. I mean, occasionally it gets a little annoying, but it isn't that big of a deal. And the Barrett 50 cal is probably your best bet, because while it's got a ton of, like, recoil, it isn't that bad at all. Like, this one's got a lot of recoil too, but it's probably got more idle sway than it does recoil, to be honest. This one, even more recoil, less idle sway. So this one, I'd say if you're gonna use anyone, use this one, because, like, while this one is alright, and it's definitely good, it's got a ton of recoil and a ton of idle sway, so this one is a close second to this in terms of, like, how bad it is with the recoil, but it isn't nearly as bad, and also it's one of the most powerful ones. And also you don't need wall penetration with this because it's got the highest wall penetration of all the other sniper rifles. So if you're gonna go with anyone, the best one is probably this, but this is a decent one too, and practically everyone uses it, and you unlock it first, so the rest of them, these two are alright, but it's really up to you. Now for the shotguns, there's only two, the W1-200 and the M1014. You could really choose whichever one you want. As you can see, the stats are pretty identical. Like, there isn't really too much of a difference between them because they're shotguns. What would you expect? But if I was gonna go with anyone, it would be this one, because obviously, if you're gonna go with anyone at all, you're probably better off with this one. You may not be able to tell just by looking at it. You don't want to go with this one. And then with the light machine guns, you have the SAW, the RPD, and the M6OE4. Like with this one's probably the best one. Like if you just are looking for something quick to move with and something that will also lay down a lot of fire, this is probably the best. But this one right here, like, I mean, it's probably one of the more fun ones to use, but it's probably not one of the ones that you're gonna do totally well with. But if you're looking for a whole heap of fun, then definitely go with this one. This one's kind of in between the two, like it's got a little bit of both of these, so. But if you were gonna go with either one, go with this one. May not look the prettiest, but it'll get the job done, so. Those are all of those weapons, and before I forget, we might as well do the pistols. Out of all these pistols, obviously you gotta go with the Desert Eagle, but that one doesn't unlock for quite some time. It doesn't unlock to level 43, so you're gonna want to go with probably either this one or this one. This one is really good, I'm not gonna lie, but this one's probably, like, I'd say that this one out of these three is the best, second best with this one, and this one is the third best. This one, however, is the absolute best, because, like, you can just spam the fire with this, and it's got tremendous accuracy and all kinds of stuff. Like, I mean, if you're far away, you're probably not gonna be very accurate, but as long as you're, like, up close, you're gonna be just fine with this thing, because it's more of a up close and personal pistol, as you can tell from the campaign, but I'm not gonna spoil anything. But, like, for anyone that wants to know, though, there is a scene with this, but I'm not gonna, like, say what it is, but this gun does get used, and it's in an up-close and personal type of way, but most likely, if you have it, this is the one you're gonna want to go with, but if not, you're gonna want to go with this one. This one doesn't unlock quite yet, but you have these two available from the start, so most likely if you're just starting out, go with this one. You're probably better off. And I don't know if I should do these now or if I should save these for another video, but you know what, since there's very little to this, I'll add it into this video too, because there's only like 3 different ones, so I might as well get this done now, because it's going to be such a small video. But if I was to do, the smoke is obviously something totally different, so this is just something you're going to want to use if you want cover from someone or something, obviously. So that's pretty much that. But like, you know, if you're gonna go between one, you're probably better off with stun, because when the enemies are flashed, they can still move around just fine, but they just can't see you or anything. So they could still easily shoot you if they can find you through their flashbang effect. But if you're using this, what the stunning effect does is it makes it so the enemy's movement is extremely slowed down temporarily. So, like, you know, if you throw one of these at the enemy, they're not going to be able to shoot back at you. Unless, of course, they're facing you when you shoot them. So just be mindful of that. So those are all of the different gun classes and whatnot. So I gave you kind of more towards my opinion of what you should use, but even though I did that, trust me, I've been playing this game ever since the original, so you might as well, I mean, you don't have to take my word for it, but I mean, if you go on to another YouTuber's videos, they're just gonna tell you the same thing, if I'm being honest. So you might as well just go do whatever you need to do, and if you want to use one weapon, use one. If you want to use another, use another. So that's it for this video. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.